Lynn, firstly, congratulations. It must be a great view to look up at the podium and see 3 Yamaha riders, the first time in 6 years.
Yeah.
Just firstly, thoughts on that?
Yeah, super nice to see that, of course. You know, we've been doing pretty good here last week as well, and so honestly I was optimistic that I knew we could get 2 on the box, but I wasn't sure that we could get 3 because our competitors are pretty strong as well. We got a little bit lucky, we have to be honest, because obviously we saw Pecco Bagnaia was very, very fast till he had that engine problem. But we'll take it as it comes. You know, at the end of the day, the results count, so to get a lockout on the podium is fantastic.
Huge disappointment for Franco Morbidelli. Obviously that looks like it was another engine failure, the second one in 2 weeks. Is that becoming a cause of concern for Yamaha and going forward? Because I also believe that perhaps the engine allocation is getting through pretty fast by the riders as well. At this point, are you able to say it's the same problem as Valentino? Is it something that can be fixed easily?
We can't say at the moment because the race has literally just finished. So first you've got to take the bike back to the pits, then they've got to take the engine out, then they've got to probably what we did last week. We lost one for Maverick and one for Valentino last weekend. We shipped them both to Japan to understand what the problem was. We'll do the same with Frankie's. But does it concern me? Yes, it does, because obviously 3 engines in 2 races is too much. So we need to understand it. Fortunately, it didn't happen to, you know, it could have happened perhaps to also Fabio today or also Maverick or Valle. So yeah, it's cause for concern and we need to find out what's the issue.
Sorry to push you on it, but would it be a part of an engine that could be replaced from the initial diagnosis that potentially have happened with Maverick's and also Valentino's engines, if they've got back to Yamaha just yet? At this point, does it look as though it's a part of the engine that could be replaced easily?
Honestly, I can't tell you today. You know, we are in deep investigation at the moment. From the 2 engines that went back last week, we have a good idea. So now we need to check this one, and very soon, no doubt, we'll be able to say more.
Valentino today obviously very, very happy with the turnaround from last week. He said that he really had
That's an understatement.
Yeah. He said he really felt as though he needed to push in terms of getting the settings that he felt was right for him and put him in a position to achieve what he's achieved today. Does he feel he needs to push because Yamaha want their riders to all kind of follow a general direction so that the feedback from the riders is consistent? Or is that a completely separate issue?
Yeah, of course. Anyway, you've always got how the rider feels and what the data says. So if you've got a whole lot of data from, you know, we've got four guys out there. The settings are all more or less the same, should we say? And so when you've got a lot of data and a lot of information that says, look, it's working for him, it's working for him, and it's working for him, but Valentino said, but it's not working for me. I need to change something. Then you will get some resistance there because you know, the Japanese engineers primarily, more than anything, are driven on data. And Valentino, however, wants to get back that feeling with the bike, and it's a setting change that gives a different balance to the bike that he feels better with. And so he pushed it through last week, and you know, he knew it was important to try something, because otherwise if you don't try, then you keep going down the same frustration road the whole time. So he pushed and felt more comfortable and put in a much better weekend, so fair enough.
Congratulations again, Lynn. So good to see Yamaha back at the competitive end and so many of them as well.